The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is the Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Dino. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals, such as gold, silver, and platinum, to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group. His peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome. It's always good to visit with you.
Yes, Dave. How are you today? Another wild day in the markets.
That leads me right to where I want to go. I'd like to say I'm doing well, but then what do I look at? I look at market retreats. I look at the Fed hiking rates. We look at inflation that is the highest in 4 decades. We look at troops being ready to deploy overseas. We look at the fall of cryptocurrency, and we look at China having money problems. I mean, we might be tempted to say, I told you so, but rather what I'd like to say is we warned you so, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've been doing it for a while, and it's only a matter of time before the mother of all bubbles, gets pricked or implodes. And I think we're probably starting that right now. So there's been a lot of damage in individual stocks. We're not financial advisors or planners, so we're not giving financial advice. But I would just warn people that we've been in a fake money printing society for the last, 30, 40 years. This is built up for a very long time, and it's expected. And you should really think about preserving what you have.
I saw a couple of very alarming headlines this morning. One said the S&P 500 hits correction as Wall Street slides into white knuckle zone. And then another where a leading financial expert predicts that the U.S. super bubble, in his words, will pop, wiping out 35 trillion. That's not M or B, that's T. Wiping out 35 trillion in stocks and housing. So there are warning signs that are appearing in the sky, you might say.
You can't speculate, Dave, with 100% of your money in risky assets. You just can't do it. It's all fine and dandy when it's going right, but eventually it won't. The markets crashed in 2000, they crashed again in 2008, and they crashed again in 2020, right before the pandemic, COVID crisis, whatever it is that you want to call it. And every time, the only reason why it was saved is the Fed or the central banks came to the rescue and printed money out of thin air in the trillions and trillions of dollars. National debt has increased by literally $23 trillion in the last 20 years, and the Federal Reserve has put over $8 trillion on its balance sheet. This can't continue. It's kind of like having an unlimited credit card as a homeowner, and you just keep piling balances on it. Eventually, you do have to pay that credit card bill. Eventually you can't do it.
The lesson of history tells us that you cannot continue to prop up an economy, that eventually it's going to all, come back at you.
I don't know how much more simpler or clearer you have to do it, but listen, Dave, the markets are led by emotion, and they're led by greed. And when people start getting in the mix and wondering how great they are as investors and traders because they're making some money, because everybody made money the last 10 years in the stock market. You could have threw a dart against the dartboard, but listen, the last year, things are changing. And we've warned people. I wouldn't be surprised to see individual stocks, go to zero, some of them. And we're seeing a lot of stocks go down 50, 90% just in the last few months. So listen, we're not wishing anybody doom and gloom who's a stock investor. What we are telling them is you can't speculate with 100% of your retirement or your cash savings or your cash reserves. A good portion of those paper assets in such a dangerous environment, Dave, should be converted to wealth preservation in the form of physical gold and silver. And that's what we continue to talk about. It should be a foundational part of any good investment strategy. And people really need to listen. Hopefully, they haven't lost too much, and there's still time to move some of that paper sideways into physical precious metals that you could hold on to, like gold and like silver.
And that is our message week in and week out. And Ken, you are the gold expert. I mean, you work with it every day. So I think it's fitting that we come to you with our topic today. And this one really intrigues me. I've been waiting for this one. Everything you ever wanted to know about gold. With your expertise, we're going to give our listeners, I think, a great education about gold. That is, what makes it so valuable? What is a carat, the measurement used for gold? What purity of gold is best for different uses? How gold fares during times of inflation and economic chaos. And boy, that makes our ears perk up these days. What gold is best to buy, and where it is best to buy gold. So let's begin with the first point that I listed. What is it, Ken, that makes gold so valuable?
It has a shine, Dave, that never fades. It's unlike silver or platinum. Gold has a color all of its own. The beauty of gold, Dave, has made it desirable, for thousands of years to use in shrines and jewelry. Gold has always been a symbol of status and wealth. King's own gold, Dave. In ancient civilizations, because of its bright yellow shine and resistance to any kind of tarnishing.
I like it when you say kings own gold. That has been the rule throughout history, and yet today we are in a position where I'm not a king and I can own gold, and I do. That's pretty amazing when you look back over the stretch of history that today the so-called common man can have the security and the beauty of gold.
It may be a scarce metal, but it is still available, and we do believe that every single American should have a significant portion of their paper assets right now in gold, because things are so financially unsound, and we are going to get so financially chaotic.
Yeah, it's very, very practical, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, scientifically, it has a very low melting point, compared to other metals. So production of coins and valuables doesn't take a huge effort. Gold coins are lightweight and easily carried around. Literally, we get a bunch of people that come in all the time and say, hey, I'd like to move some money into gold. Is it really inconvenient? No, it's not. It's light. It's easily transferable. You can transport it easily. You literally can fit hundreds of thousands of dollars of gold in something as small as a shoebox. So it's very convenient, much unlike silver, which is very heavy. And it's also resistant to corrosion, so it could last for thousands of years, and like we've been talking about, Dave, gold's been money. It's been valuable for 3,000 years. We talked a few weeks ago about how the Roman Empire, had gold and silver in their coins, and when they started to unwind, how they debased their currency. So, gold has been part of the monetary system for forever. It should be looked at as money, not as a speculation or a trade or a stock. And right now, with things falling apart, retirement accounts, cash reserves, gold is tangible. It's like real estate. You don't have to own it on margin or borrow against it. It's something you can just have, and it'll be there when you need it. And it will get you through all of these fluctuations in the currency markets as our money is changing, and the stock market ebbs and flows. I mean, we're starting to see 1,000-point trading ranges in the stock market on a daily basis, and as you and I have spoken about, Dave, this is going to get worse. As people start to really worry about what they have left, and as they really start to be concerned about where they are and what's going to happen and how long is this going to take to come back, if it does come back at all. More and more people are going to start to get nervous, more emotions, and more volatility.
A reminder here that you are listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is everything you ever wanted to know about gold. Very briefly, Ken, this is one that I think is mildly interesting. Gold is measured in carats and weight when it comes to its value, and in the case of precious metals, carat with a K is different than carat with a C that's used for precious gems. So what's the difference between the two?
K is the measure of purity of a metal, especially gold. Most common, you have necklace, it could be 10K, 18K, 14K, and most common with coins and bars, 22K, 24 karat K. Carat with a C, Dave, is the measurement of weight of precious stones, especially like diamonds. So pretty much that's how it would go. K is measured on a scale of 1 to 24. So, like I said, you'll hear gold referred to in terms of 14 karat, 18 karat, 22 karat, 24 karat. 24 karat is considered pure gold, 0.9999. It's the softest. It's easily dented in that form. That's why many jewelry and coins designed for circulation have other metals mixed into them, Dave, for durability. Hence their lower number of carats for circulation coins. And as we know today, the circulation coins that we have absolutely no silver in them at all, which is a lot different than when they were back prior to 1965.
A reminder here that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is everything you ever wanted to know about gold. And in a few moments, we're going to make this very practical. We're going to take a look at a specific gold product that you can add to secure your wealth. And that's coming up right after this.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. Our topic today is everything you ever wanted to know about gold. And by the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or the Phoenix area, we invite you to come and visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, you can call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. Now, let's treat ourselves by looking at a specific gold product. I always envy you, Ken. You get to hold these. You get to see these. Today we're going to talk about the Gold Britannia, and this one intrigues me because of its attachment to history.
Yeah, Dave. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I have, maybe one or two coins of each from time to time, and I love them all in their own different way. But the Britannia is literally a very unique coin. It's the embodiment of the national spirit of the United Kingdom. Britannia appears on coins for 2,000 years. Ever since the Romans invaded the Isles and claimed them as a province of Britannia. So there's a great history here. Britannia first appeared on the Roman coins all the way back around 119 AD under the rule of Emperor Hadrian. So, I mean, we're talking about something with a long lineage of history. The Britannia was revived for the coinage of Charles II, Dave, in 1672, and the Royal Mint responded to the growing global bullion market by announcing the Gold Britannia, actually minted in 1987 by the British Royal Mint. And this is a 24 karat gold coin, like we were talking about before, and it is 0.9999 fine gold in purity. And this was actually, Dave, the first European gold investment bullion coin. So it's very relevant. It's not as well known as some of the other coins that are out there, so you could actually get it for a very decent, good price, as the market for these isn't as big as, say, an eagle or a buffalo, but that favors you when it comes to price.
I always envy you, as I said. You're holding one now, and you can Perhaps maybe give us a word picture of what it looks like there in your hand?
When I hold a gold coin like this, I feel privileged. It feels heavy. It feels real. Not to mention, it feels fun. It's a work of art in its own right. So it's kind of neat to have something like that. And I feel that if you do move some of your paper assets into gold, that's a privilege. It's something that you could explain to your kids and grandkids about. That this is what real money looks like. This is what real money is supposed to be: strong and debt free and that sort of thing. So it embodies many things. But the modern sculptor and coin designer Philip Nathan David, he created actually an interpretation of Britannia for this particular coin that was perfect for these new coins. It seems very strong, majestic, and resilient. He presented Britannia as the goddess standing upright against the wind and turbulent seas. She holds a trident. Her head is protected by a helmet. And she stands ready with both a shield and an olive branch. So, it's kind of like you're ready for anything, much like gold is ready for any financial chaos that comes along this way. That's kind of how I relate to it. And over the last few years, this design has gone through a few changes. One significant change, Dave, was in 2016, which introduced the fifth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth. Remember, Queen Elizabeth is on the front of different coins from different mints: Canada, UK, Australia, to just name a few. So someone could say that maybe she's even as mythological as Britannia, so to speak.
I like the description of Britannia standing upright against the wind in turbulent seas. That certainly would describe the need for the day and age that we're in, and the role of gold as well. You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. Today our topic is everything you ever wanted to know about gold. Ken, one final question about the Gold Britannia. Is this IRA-eligible?
Yeah. And listen, you made a great point. Turbulent. And that's exactly what we're going to be in. Turbulent financial, political, social times. Very, very turbulent. So to protect your IRA, yes, it is eligible. If you have an old retirement account, you could transfer those funds into a Gold Britannia, or like I said, if you have paper cash reserves, non-qualifiable account, just a regular account, savings, checking, you could always take some of those paper assets and convert them into the Gold Britannia and other gold products. And yes, get ready for turbulent markets and turbulent times.
And Ken, you can guide us through the process of buying this? You can make it easy for us?
Yeah, well, that's what we specialize in, Dave. Midas Gold Group is more than happy to advise, suggest, recommend, prospective buyers with potential products that they could look at to preserve their wealth, diversify, hedge. And this one particular coin, as many, there's others, but this one particular coin, the Gold Britannia, will give you all of the benefits that gold is supposed to give an investor.
Thank you, Ken. You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. Today our topic is everything you ever wanted to know about gold, and we'll continue in just a moment.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
We continue now with The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. And if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to drop by our local office and meet with us in person. It's always a great time for us to be able to see you in person and for you to be able to see some of the product in person as well. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. I hope you'll write that down and call us, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. We're talking with Ken Russo, Senior Vice President at Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is everything you ever wanted to know about gold. Ken, you have told us why gold is so valuable and how to understand some of the terminology regarding the measurement of gold. Let's turn our attention now to the best way to buy and keep gold. There are a lot of different kinds of gold dealers, all the way from pawn shops to gold buyers and sellers in gold storefronts. And then there are gold dealers like Midas Gold Group. When buying gold, which is the most reliable?
Well, I think you have to be comfortable with whatever situation you're doing, but we feel that personal attention is best. Literally, it's very hard in the gold industry, Dave, to find trustworthy, reliable people. Unfortunately, most of them are just a B actor that's hired. They do a commercial, and then you call up, and then you have a high-pressured salesman try to get you into a coin or a product that just benefits the dealer. So we're veteran-owned, and we definitely offer people a great opportunity to deal with trustworthy, reliable people that will recommend products that are best for them. There's plenty of ways for Midas Gold Group to make a living by being reasonable with our clients, and clients understand that they want to do business with a healthy company, and they understand that we do need to make something, but it could be reasonable.
In light of our faltering economy and record inflation that we've talked about, what percentage of assets are you seeing your clients transfer into the security of gold?
Usually, Dave, and like I said again, this is not financial advice, but usually everyone has recommended about 10% of your money in gold, and that allows them to keep the other 90% in paper. So that's real convenient. But I would tell you this, we are in unprecedented times. The risk that we have right now is more than ever. This is the largest bubble that we have ever seen or possibly could see. There's a lot of stuff out there that people do not understand, and it's going to end very badly before it can get better. We think that risk deserves a higher allocation of gold and protection. So we're actually telling people, don't be afraid to take 25 or 50% of your paper assets, diversify, get them out of the banking system and get them out of the markets, and move them sideways into physical gold and physical silver. So because risk is at an all-time high, because things are so dangerous, Dave, I think the allocation of gold and silver right now should be a little bit larger than maybe it's been in the past.
And I will go back to where I began at the beginning of today's program with a warning. When we look at what is going on out in the world today, we have the market retreating, we have the Fed hiking rates, we have inflation at decades high, we have troops getting ready to deploy overseas, we have cryptocurrency, which has sort of been the darling out there, falsely beginning to fall, and we see China with its money problems, and China is very heavily invested in the United States. So there is a lot for us to, number one, be aware of, and number two, for us to be concerned about. And that is going to bring us to the end of our time together today here on The Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. And a reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. Go over and take a look at it. It's a very interesting website. The Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you again for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Dave. I'll talk to you soon.
I'm Dave Dino, and I invite you to come and join us again next week at the same time for another edition of the Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.